Hi, my name is Bill Baffey, and I'm a project manager at a software company. Today I'd like to tell you how incredibly easy it was for my team to integrate agile development methodologies into our daily work. Except it actually wasn't that easy. You see, I have a confession to make. This story starts about a year ago, when our development manager saw a presentation on agile methodologies at our user conference. Many of the ideas struck a chord, and very soon after that, our team started gearing up to give agile development a test drive. One of our first steps was to hire an agile coach to visit our team and give us ideas of best practices for Scrum development. Of course, the session was met with some mixed reactions, but when I saw the potential for improved scheduling and estimating, well, let's just say I started drinking the Kool-Aid. I gathered other curious team members and we prepared to start adopting agile methods immediately. We decided to do things our own way, breaking one of the first rules I had heard from our coach. Do not attempt to implement agile in piecemeal. Whatever. The team is sharp, and with me acting as the Scrum Master, we'd certainly be able to identify what parts of this whole Scrum thing would work best for us. Now, I'm not a fan of industry buzzwords, so I was happy when we decided to drop the usual terminology. Our sprints became cycles. And since we decided to hold our daily stand-up every other day, we call them light cycle meetings. Not only because they were lightly scheduled, but because I'm a nerd and, hey, I like Tron. After just a short time, it became obvious that we were only doing Scrum halfway. Our light cycle meetings were ineffective, as people tried to report on what they had accomplished yesterday, or was that the day before? Our made-up terminology was confusing people outside of the team who were genuinely interested in what we were doing. It was fairly easy to see at this point that we weren't even able to get the most basic benefits out of our use of Scrum. Not to mention that what we were doing was without the benefit of continuous integrations or any kind of automated testing. Now, it wasn't all bad news. We had certainly become a self-forming team. And when we reviewed what worked and what didn't work during these iterations, the team was then able to take immediate steps to improve parts of our process. In the meantime, I joined some agile groups in the area, went to several presentations, and even took some classes and earned some certifications. And I read. I read a lot. Not just about the process, but about teams that were successful in implementing agile development in their own companies. All of these things I was learning from these classes, groups, and presentations were especially valuable because they were coming from outside of our company. I was beginning to see that agile adoption itself was a process that didn't guarantee instant success, no matter how good your blueprint was. Finally, we were starting to see some tangible results. They did come gradually, but the team's enthusiasm was building. On a daily basis, we saw improvements with less confusion and more ideas. The development manager was always viewed as the project owner on our teams, but now it was feeling a lot more official as we became more disciplined about our sprint planning meetings, sprint reviews, sprint retrospectives, and our product demos. Now that we were sprinting along, we did some internal presentations on our experiences with our agile process. A big reason we did this was to help new team members get up to speed on what we were doing, and welcome them to the wonderful new world of Scrum development. Now that everybody was on board, we split up into a red team and a blue team. There was nothing political about this choice. We just had too many people to be on a single team of the recommended 7 ± 2. I suggested what I thought was a good set of mascots for each team, but no one seemed to agree. I am the Scrum Master for both the red team and the blue team. Every day, both of these teams meet in their team rooms to do their daily stand-ups. Almost every day, each of these stand-ups result in at least one pair of teammates going off on their own to discuss an issue that was raised. It became pretty obvious to the rest of the company that we were doing something different. Our glass wall meeting room became a fishbowl as curious co-workers walking by wondered what we were doing. Some even came in and asked, "Why are all of you standing up?" While we have made a lot of progress, there are still some challenges ahead. We have continuous integrations on one platform, but we definitely want to cover more. We're also trying to make QA more of an automated process, as well as integrating those teammates into our sprints. Do you remember what I said about drinking the Kool-Aid? Well, I was serious. I'm completely sold on this development framework. How serious? Well, I'm serious to the point of bringing it outside of the office and integrating it into my personal life. Let me give you some examples of what I mean. What was previously a to-do list is now the household backlog. I plan on adding tasks to cover financial planning, home improvements, and yes, even some of the repetitive, mundane daily tasks that I need to track. So, that is my confession. I am now a believer in agile methodologies and the Scrum development framework. And similar to Scrum, the process to adopt agile is an iterative one. And with a focus on visibility and team empowerment, I'm confident that our process will continue to improve.